left, left, right, right, left, left, right, up and down, left, right, left, right. Once I reach the 30 second, I pour the rest. We say that this case it would be 350 instead of 240. It's a bit tricky with aeropress because you can always bypass it because it's small, and normally 240 is the limit. I can put, in this case, 250. Perfect. Obviously, the things about aeropress is that it's small and you can only pour once, only 1 cup, but you can always do a concentrated and then you can bypass it. So we're gonna wait 5 minutes and then we're gonna turn it upside down and press. What time is it? 11:30. That's good because I got need to go somewhere at 12 o'clock, but I think I should have time. So Suan Lahu, I mean, it was wonderful. It was weird because you were going up the mountains and you would just see basically, except on the top, they still retain the natural habitat with trees and so on. But then underneath, all around, all you can see in the area where I was, just corn fields, because it's the crop that makes more profit. So it's weird. There is no one single tree, and almost nothing else. No more, no other crops, just corn. Result of that, yeah, I was there during raining season, and very often the road would be blocked by landslides, because if you don't have trees, if there is no roots, the land is not being held into place by the roots, it's just gonna go down. On top of it, the soil has been poisoned by years after years after years of using chemical and to make it grow quicker, so that there are resistance to diseases. Because obviously, if your life and business based on profit, you cannot risk to lose what makes you have a profit. Now, people are not bad, farmers are not bad, people are not bad. You need to teach them the wrong things, and that's when they're gonna go in the wrong direction. And in this case of farming, that's the reason they've been taught that's the way. And then that's when if you don't teach that the environment is important, then the environment becomes like something that we can use. Once you can't use anymore, move to the next. So Suan Lahu wanted to show that that's not the right thing. It's absolutely not the right things. And to be inside the farm, it's amazing. The energy, it's wonderful. You can feel it. The trees, and you can feel the difference in temperature once you get out of the houses of trees. The temp become warmer, because the trees keeps the temperature low. Now it's hard for the Suan Lahu because obviously they need to sustain themselves. That's why they obviously sell what they grow, not just coffee, but even avocado, jackfruit, and so on. But it's hard because obviously if you're organic, you need to sell it more. People don't have money, they cannot buy it. It takes a longer time, so it's very, very hard to sustain themselves. Let's turn around and give a lettuce whirl to settle the coffee ground, and then press for 1 minute. So it's very hard to make a profit. It's hard to make a profit because that's the thing. because everything gets based on very quick and cheap. People goes where it's easy, cheaper to buy, but cheaper to buy, it's done with chemicals. So people don't realize that yes, it's cheap, but it's harming their body. But we haven't been taught about that either. So we think that there is nothing to worry about until we get sick. We don't understand how come. It's very hard what they are doing. They are fighting control like against giants, and it's a very heavy like fight. Like I don't like the term fight because I'm a pacifist. I hate violence, but it's really very hard for them to be able to compete, and especially it's really hard for them to send the message, because when you're a farmer, and this is not just if you're a farmer, even if you are a coffee shop or anything else, once you are in debt, because to start a business you need the money and you don't have it because the system created they created a system where you can't even working as hard like a crazy, like 70 hours a week, you will make enough money to be able to buy a business with just your savings. So you need to borrow money, or you get an investor or from the bank. When you have a debt and you have to pay, and you know you have like 20, 30, 40 years to pay them off, you need to make a profit. And that's when the problem starts. That's when we find ourselves where we are. So that's why the people at Suan Lahu are conscious about all of this, and they trying to show that there is a way. There is a way going back to simple lifestyle, going back to the minimum. We don't need. They want to show that you don't need all that money. You don't need all that objects to feel good. So the farm, it's even a way, and the people that runs it, to show to the rest that they don't need all that money. They don't need to buy a big car. They might not really use it, or to build a big house that they barely use most of the house. And the farm was born with that. So that's why they need a lot of help, because they can't really sustain themselves just with what they sell, and that's why they need the volunteers, and even donations. That would be great, for whoever wants it, or even just going in Chiang Rai at the Maitadi at the farm, and just hiring some of the community for tours. Doesn't have to be just donation. Even just go and hiring people, and so they can sustain this beautiful project. So I'm very happy to have them, and very happy to go back in November for the harvest. And I'm really happy that there are people like them that still believe that a change is possible, and that we can go back to be part of the nature and live together in peace. Thank you.